From quarter 5 to quarter 8, our income statement showed a tremendous amount of growth in increasing our gross profit. Upon completion of the 5th quarter, we were just under $2 million in gross profit. However, we were able to increase that to over $5 million by the end of quarter 7. Quarter 8, we saw a decrease in the gross profit, but we were able to minimize our operating costs in order to maintain a positive net income. In order to become profitable in the long term, we had spent a lot of our cash on research and development, which decreased our operating expenses in the long term. While we were seeing large amounts of revenue, we were not seeing the large profits, which was due to the high expenses. From quarter 5 to quarter 8, we were able to decrease our expenses from just under $6 million to just over $3 million, which increased our operating profit by $4 million. We were also able to become profitable. However, once we were able to reduce costs and increase revenue, our overall business saw a positive net income for both quarter 7 and quarter 8, partly due to our decrease in operating expenses. At the beginning of quarter 5, we had only $186,000 in our cash balance and a newly obtained loan, which allowed us to invest in the future of our company. We invested heavily on research and development and also opened multiple sales offices in other regions of the world, including Tokyo. While these had dramatically decreased our net cash flow, it was something that would increase our revenues going forward and become a more profitable company. By quarter 7, we were able to ramp up productions in order to meet the increased demand due to our improved advertising efforts. We had done very well with minimizing our inventory costs in quarter 6 as well as quarter 7. However, in quarter 8, we struggled and saw a direct result in our leftover inventory. Quarter 5 was our biggest investing quarter, with over $1 million going towards research and development as well. However, advertising increased revenue in the coming quarters. One of the areas where we struggled was minimizing shipping costs. From quarter 5 to quarter 8, our shipping costs had increased tremendously, which reduced our overall revenue income. In current assets, our cash balance had started at a mere $1, and we had sat on a $1.8 million in finished good inventory. From quarter 6 on, we had seen our available cash balance jump due to the investment we received at the end of quarter 5. We have been able to improve our sales in quarter 6, reducing our finished goods inventory from almost $2 million to just over $600,000. By managing and creating a more efficient operating capacity, we were able to minimize extra inventory, yet still meet the demand. In quarter 6, we decided to invest in a sinking fund each quarter that included our company putting away $200,000 for a scenario in which we needed it most. Our net fixed assets had stayed fairly consistent in the second year of our business operating, with us investing in property and sales offices in early quarters. From quarter 5 on, we had stayed very consistent with our net fixed assets, and that was due to us planning ahead and not waiting to purchase sales offices too late. In quarter 5, we had received an emergency loan of $1 million, and in quarter 6, we had received a long-term loan of $4 million, which allowed us to invest in the growth of the company. Upon completion of the 3rd quarter, our total assets had increased from $4.5 million in quarter 5 to just over $10 million in quarter 8, which resulted in tremendous growth for the company as a whole.
My name is Michael Zabrowski. My primary responsibilities were the president of overall leadership, as well as the vice president of accounting and finance. In this presentation, I'll go over the critical decisions and financial outcomes, as well as the best products and advertisements of MCS Digital. If you refer to slide 3, our quarters 5 through 8 brought the most critical decisions for our company, as well as some pretty good financial gains. It started with the $5 million investment from our venture capitalists, which we invested into research and development and market research, as well as marketing changeovers and all that kind of stuff. We were opening 2 new sales offices at that time in Toronto and in Tokyo. So that brought us to 3 different regions, North America, Europe, and Asian Pacific. So between quarter 5 and 6, our manufacturing schedules were not working out well. We were being left with a lot of unwanted inventory. So we decided to research more into the process of lean manufacturing, which we lowered our operating capacity down while keeping our other capacities at the same rate. So we actually had less inventory, we had less overhead costs. It worked out pretty well. We had new products for quarter 6. There was 3, the Expedition, Passage, and the Business Pro, as well as quarter 7, which brought the biggest profit, the Passage Pro 2.0 and the Business Pro X. Our sales revenues from quarter 5 to quarter 6 went from $3,501,000 $1,520 to $8,280,956. And in quarter 7, we ended the quarter with $9,586,450 in sales revenue, which is pretty good. If you refer to slide 4, our best products would definitely have to have been the Passage Pro 2.0. It brought a gross profit of $1,569,162. And then the second highest was the Business Pro X, which was also introduced in the same quarter. This brought a gross profit of $994,829. And then our Expedition Pro 2 actually was our highest profit per unit with $1,704 per unit, which was pretty decent. Our advertising was the third highest, especially based on the local advertisements. We advertised in different inserts for magazines in our sales cities. So like in Los Angeles, Toronto, Paris, and in Tokyo. Our global advertisements were really good too. We actually got second highest in regional ads. So we targeted our markets for Workhorse and for Traveler. Workhorse is more towards like the business section, where Traveler was towards traveling employees, and they wanted lightweight, more portable computers. And if you refer to slide 5, we actually had 88% of Traveler's market share, which is pretty good. But Workhorse, we only had 15%, which is our first target segment, and we probably should have worked more towards that and made Traveler our first target segment instead. But we still turned out pretty well.
Hello everyone, my name is Summer Shaw Henderson and I am the Vice President of Business Analytics, and I'm also the Vice President of Marketing. To start off, I'm going to start on slide 6, which I will be discussing MCS Digital's forward strategy. We've decided that our current strategy has been working for us thus far, so instead of devising a new strategy, we're simply going to advance or kind of tweak the strategy that we have now. To start the advancement of our new strategy, we've decided to make the Traveler segment our first focus segment. The reason being, at the start of the quarter 9, we see that we have 88% of the overall Traveler segment. With this high percentage of market share, we think that it would be smartest to make that our target focus. That way we can keep the momentum going that we have in the Traveler segment and kind of put Workhorse as our second segment until we can get our momentum back in that segment. Continuing with talking about our segments, in order to keep our momentum or our high percentage of market share and even grow our market share in the Traveler segment, we've decided to add some research and development investments. One being adding a new feature of a stylish slim laptop. We will also add uninterruptible power, touchscreen, and high-speed networking. Because we've lost so much momentum in the Workhorse segment, we are going to focus most of our R&D investments within this next year on our Workhorse segment. Our top competitor, Precision Tech, has 56% of the overall market and 65% of the Workhorse segment. To make sure that we can compete with Precision Tech, we are going to add these following R&D investments. We are going to add fail-proof ultra power. We are going to create a 23-inch monitor for our Workhorse segment. We would like to add a high comfort keyboard and mouse. And lastly, we would like to add professional software that is easy to use. Now switching into the sales portion of our strategy, we are currently in 3 regions: North America, Europe, and Asian Pacific. We would like to expand our offices within the next year into Chicago and San Julio. We essentially want to expand all of our offices into the Middle East and Africa regions, along with Latin America. We also eventually see ourselves expanding into the Abu Dhabi region as well. Now let's focus on our lessons learned. I'm going to be speaking from slide 7. I would say one of the biggest lessons we learned in quarters 1 through quarters 8 is the importance of balancing our targeted segments. Ironically, what happened Traveler segment was our focus segment from the start. When we saw that our products were not registering with this particular segment, but we were having much success in the workhorse segment, we decided to make workhorse our first targeted segment. Within that same quarter, which was about Q5, we then started investing in research and development. And because we were doing so poorly in the traveler segment, and we saw that no other competitor was really registering with the segment either, we decided to take advantage of this. So we invested all of our research and development into the traveler segment. Because the investments were so costly, and we were also expanding our other sales offices and improving our production and manufacturing, we found ourselves not having the money or the cash we needed to put into the workhorse segment. So because of that, we lost all of the momentum we had in the workhorse segment. Although we were still one of the top 2 competitors or the top 2 companies in that market, we were not competing with our top competitor, which was Precision Tech. Because of this, we've